Hello everyone, I'm Mahleej. Today we're going to talk about racism. Because I have seen in 2017, we've been hearing this term racism way too often. Anytime somebody has a different opinion, we hear that they're racist. Anytime anybody criticizes an ideology or a religion, we're told they're racist. Anytime somebody speaks up their mind about a certain group or certain culture, we're called they're racist. Last week, there was a video of a woman that went viral that was out of Mississauga. In this video, the white woman is seen requesting for a white doctor who speaks English. And a lot of people decided to record her and post it on social media. That video went viral and she was stamped as a racist, as she should be. Watch this video first, and then I'm going to discuss this a little further with you.
There must be one person that he was not speaking English. His teeth were brown. I do not need his help.
I'm here.
His chest is hurting and he's sick. I'm not going there with all those tacky doctors. I don't have money to go to Georgetown. There's got to be somebody that speaks English here.
Your child clearly has more issues with you being his mother than him needing to see a doctor. You are extremely rude and racist. You want to talk about packy people being at a hospital? Maybe you should check yourself.
There was a daughter,
I don't
a girl
care.
that died over there. I'm asking for my son.
But I'm sure she didn't die because someone was from.
Why are you yelling at me? This is what happens when
You are yelling at everyone. You are yelling at everyone.
My son is sick.
So
you're
what?
Here to fight me because
No, we are not fighting. We are fighting
brown.
because.
You're brown. You're all attacking
Well,
me.
there are.
I'm
I'm
white.
sure there are other people who are reasonable.
Because you're racist.
No, it's because I'm
And
white.
because you're
No.
You're
using
attacking me.
racial slurs.
Hold on.
That's not
criminal.
okay.
Step back. This is my personal bubble.
She is perfectly standing right, fine here.
Can we see a doctor if he's sick?
Yeah, that should you should be asking, not a white Canadian doctor who speaks English. I'm sure a lot of doctors who speak English, they are not white.
Maybe you should check yourself in.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure you have watched this video and I'm sure your jaw has dropped to the floor hearing what she had to really say in that video. Like, that was rude, that was obscene. The worst part of that whole thing and this whole scenario was that her son was with her. So, I mean, like, what kind of message are you trying to send to your son? You know, for me, personally, I think this woman, more than a racist, is really stupid. I mean, like, anybody, I don't even live in Mississauga, but anybody you actually that knows GTA or Toronto a little bit can tell you that Mississauga is heavily populated with brown people. And if you don't know that by living there, you must be living in La La Land. Okay, so Mississauga, Brampton is heavily populated with brown people. People from Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, all over the place. And they're mostly brown. So for you to find a white doctor is kind of highly unlikely. So my suggestion to you, miss, would be that you should actually go live in a heavily white populated neighborhood where there's white doctors, everybody's white. You know, because that is a community of white folks. That's where heavily white population lives. That's where you will find white doctors. Having been said that, my question to everybody else that was so offended by her, that how dare she ask for a white doctor? How dare she ask for somebody that speaks proper English? My question to you is just that I have seen on many occasions, you know, when we came here to Canada, we kind of preferred a brown doctor, preferably from Pakistan, because we could communicate better with them. How many of us prefer and asks and request for certain kind of doctors? I mean, like, let's start with a lot of females. I know a lot of females that prefer female doctors over male doctors. Well, are we being gender biased now? Don't you think? Like, why don't we just go with the male doctor? I mean, he knows the same amount of stuff that a female doctor knows, especially if you're coming from certain culture, certain part of the world, you choose to have a female doctor. It's just a personal preference. For a woman, she has a choice to, you know, go with a male doctor or a female doctor. I was given that choice when I was having a child, and Yeah, but to me it didn't matter because it didn't matter the color, the kind, because I honestly just wanted my child to be healthy and I wanted somebody that knew exactly what they were doing. That was the most important thing to me. Let's move on to a lot of people that come here and they request doctors on basis of religion. I mean, like if you're a Christian, you want to request a Christian doctor or get a referral to a Christian doctor. Or if you're a Muslim, you would want to see a Muslim doctor. Or if you're Hindu, you would want to see a Hindu doctor. Those are the preferences you choose to make. And there has always been these choices all around, and we have been making these preferences all around. Now, let's go on to the language thing. You know how she was saying that she wanted somebody that spoke English. Well, you know what? The people come from Pakistan and they want a Pakistani doctor because they can communicate better in Urdu. Indian people want to communicate better in Hindi. Punjabi people want to communicate better in Punjabi. Chinese people want to communicate better in Chinese, and they have their own doctors and they all the time request for these doctors. I never see anybody saying that this is racism. But the only difference is that these people actually live into their communities. Now, let's talk about these communities. So now, in the name of multiculturalism, now we have created these ghettos. Okay, so every different culture has their own little ghettos. Mississauga is heavily populated with Pakistani community, along with Milton, Thornhill Woods, and a little bit of Markham. Now, if you go a little bit north, which is Brampton, is heavily populated with Sikhs. Mississauga is also home to a lot of Indian. That's why you see such a huge brown population up there. Let's move on a little bit east. We go to Scarborough. Markham or Richmond Hill is all filled with Asians, whether they're from China, wherever, but they're all mostly Asians. We go to Vaughan, is filled with Italians. Danforth, filled with Greeks. You pick all these little societies and all these little areas. Now we have all these little areas of different communities. So what these people do, for example, if somebody's coming here from Pakistan, they already know that they should come and live in Mississauga because they will not need to actually speak English, because they will find their community there. They will find Pakistani doctors, they will find Pakistani grocery stores, they will find Pakistani cops, they will find Pakistani everything, or if not Pakistanis, Indians, and we kind of speak the same language. So if you know basically Punjabi in Mississauga, you can come live in Mississauga without having to be speaking one word of English and live here all your life. The same goes for Asians, Chinese coming from China. They can come here and they can live in Markham or Scarborough or in Richmond Hill and not have to learn one word of English and get by for the rest of their lives. Now, this is the reason why we see people living here for 10, 20, 30 years and still don't speak proper English. And like I said, that woman is very stupid. If you really want white person who speaks proper English, you need to go find a white community. Those white communities that have actually been driven away from all these communities while these ghettos were formed, because whites actually did not feel very comfortable with somebody, and they did not want to say it, because if you do say it, then you're racist and you're going to offend somebody. So I understand this political correctness, but like when you turn the tables around, I think it's very hypocritical for us to stand there and ask a white person, why are you asking for a white doctor who speaks proper English, which is the national language of our country? How dare you? How dare you require us to speak proper English? Don't you know that it's not necessary anymore for migrants or immigrants to know proper English? In the past, there was a rule: before you applied for immigration or you tried to come here, you should know the national language of the country, which I know was English. But I also know a lot of people that have lived here for years and years and years don't speak one word of English, yet they have jobs, they have big houses, they have money, they're living their life luxuriously without even having to speak a one word of English. My question to you is, what do you think this is? What do you think this is? This is hypocrisy or this is racism? The same problem we face whenever we're calling for any kind of phone services from any companies, because they have hired a lot of people that actually can't communicate in English, or sometimes these people have a very thick accent. A lot of people are really quick to jump on how dare she ask somebody that speaks proper English. So my question to you is, even as a person who speaks and understands proper English, if I had a Scottish person to speak to me in English or a British person to speak to me in English, it will take me a few seconds to understand because of their thick accent. So you think it's easy for white people that speak fluent English for them to just grasp it like this and understand somebody that is speaking with a thick and heavy Indian accent? So even for me, it's hard to understand that person. When we have other people coming here whose first language is not English and they're speaking it with a thick accent, and people that are born here, it will be harder for them to understand. That is why a lot of us have problems when we call all these companies over the phones, because the telecommunication people use all these immigrants, all these people that have come from different countries, all these people that speak different languages, all these people where their native tongue is not English. That's why so many times it's frustrating when you're trying to explain your point to somebody over the phone and they don't understand you and you don't understand them. Hence, we always have this problem. So for her to actually ask for somebody that actually spoke proper English, I don't know if I find that too offensive. Because sometimes I wish I was speaking to somebody that actually spoke proper English and I didn't have to fight with them over the phone trying to understand what they're doing, trying to be patient and trying to be nice and trying to be so politically correct so I don't offend them. But honestly, before I came to this country, I was told that the national language is English, which I spoke, and I thought that, you know what, I can learn even more English and I can communicate better with everybody. Not that I'm gonna have to sit there and struggle to understand other people. That was one of the biggest requirements of coming to this country, was that you need to know English. Let's move on to our third thing that she said that was very offensive. Exactly what she said was that I want to see a white doctor, not a brown doctor with brown teeth. Ouch, that hurts. That is really mean. Honestly, I really agree that that is really mean. But now let me explain to all these people that are probably saying like, how can she say that? How can somebody have brown teeth? How can somebody have brown teeth? Let me tell you something. If any of you ever smoke or drink coffee, you know when you don't get your teeth clean, they're gonna change color. Slowly they become yellow, and when you don't clean them at all and you don't take care of them or you don't brush your teeth, they're going to turn brown. Okay, especially if you're a smoker or if you drink a lot of coffee or even if you drink a lot of red wine, that will stain your teeth. These are just known facts. I'm not making this up. Same thing happens to brown people. Okay, Indians, Pakistanis, and I don't know, maybe Sri Lankans and other people might eat this. This is called pan, and when you chew a lot of pan and when you eat a lot of pan, your teeth are going to get stained. Again, if you don't take care of them and if you don't clean your teeth are going to be brown. I personally did not see the doctor. I personally don't know if the doctor had brown teeth or not. So that is something where this comes from. Anyways, I thought that this would clear out a few things and few of the hypocrisy that we have going on in our Canadian society, because we only look at one thing and one thing only. Now at the end, would you ask me if she was being racist? Yeah, she was being racist to certain people that were around there, and in that environment where it's heavily, of course, majority people are brown, they're gonna get offensive, and anything where people get offended, they don't like that person because their feelings are getting hurt. Should she have done this thing? No, it's wrong. Yes, she was being racist. And of course, the way she did it, it could have been done properly. It could have been done maybe nicely instead of making it a huge scene. Anyways, guys, if you like what you see, make sure you give me a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions, you can always leave me a comment on the comment section. See you next time. Bye.